Hello, I'm Ramie.
And this is Dakota.
And we are Leveling Duo, a podcast about two friends talking about games that they really enjoy from their past or currently.
Pretty much past, present, future.
Yeah, let's hope future. We like to think we have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what I said I was going to talk about?
I do not.
Okay.
Huh.
That.
Okay.
Yes.
For those unaware, essentially I just had a real-time unveiling in front of me of the Meta Quest 3.
Yes.
Something that I've never played with before. Like, only a VR headset I've really messed around with has been the Oculus.
You had the Meta Quest 2. You played VR on it here for a bit.
I thought that was an Oculus.
They got bought out by Meta.
Well, well then I take back what I said. I rescind my statement.
Technically mine was a newer one, so it did have Meta on the box, not Oculus. That's the difference. This is the name on the box. Same box and everything otherwise. I just got this in, the 11th of October? They came out on the 10th. I've had a bit of time to play it now. I will say the head strap compared to the second one is better than it was, but it is not better enough not to make me want to buy a better one. So I'm going to have to get a third-party head strap because I'm not paying $70 for Meta's head strap.
I understand.
I will probably not be getting a battery pack for it yet because where it's got a better processor, I'll cover all that stuff in a minute. It pulls more energy than the ones that are currently being shipped out because they thought it would have the same power draw as the second one. So a lot of the manufacturers just brought their battery packs over. They are dying in moments or not even giving enough power to keep the Meta Quest 3 alive while you're playing. So I won't be buying any fancy. I'll just buy a cheap extra head strap that will fit better than the one that came with it. But it is, like I said, better than the second one already. It's more of a mixed reality headset. Well, it's a VR headset as well. It can black out your entire field of view and put you in a whole new world, or you can just add stuff to your current world. Like I fought an alien invasion that popped through my wall and my ceiling.
Interesting.
Yeah, they busted out my TV screen. That comes free with the system. It's more like a tutorial.
Okay.
It starts at $4.99 now, which is like $200 more than the second one started. But it has, the second one had an issue when you put it on your face. It had like a perfect spot it had to set. Otherwise, it would blur your vision. It was very hard to get just in that one spot. And it only had 3 settings for the eye width, how far apart your eyes are. This one has an entire slider. It's much better. They call them new lenses or pancake lenses, so they got more adjustment. They got better field of view on them and everything. It's more like seeing as a person than seeing a screen.
Okay.
The fitting around my face feels so much more comfortable. I won't be buying an extra one of those like I did for the second one. The second one, for a while, they were breaking people out. Some people had allergic reactions to the...
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
How some people were having the allergic reactions, and I remember you were pretty big at the time about, well, let's just say that you went a little OCD on the cleaning.
Yeah, I didn't want...
Which I don't blame you.
And that was just a sponge. I would not have kept that on there and used it over and over and over. I get something a little bit better. This one I like so far. They call it a 4K infinite display, 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye. You got 110 horizontal and 96 vertical field of view. And it's got the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2. It's a pretty beefy processor, which is probably what's causing the power drain issue.
Yeah, like if that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of consoles, like they always want to push the processors, and they seem to always like leave the power supply and cooling units on the back burner a little bit.
Well, so far it gets warm, but every console will get a little, even PCs especially, get burning hot. It doesn't get too hot or anything like that, and the ventilation around my eyes is pretty good, so I don't have an issue with anything like that. But mostly it's just people's power drain. You know, an hour and 20-some minutes. I think remember what they said it was going to get, like 2 hours. Kind of exactly whatever the Meta Quest 2 was, they said it was going to be the same, but it's getting a little bit less. But they did put a bigger battery. It's just this thing is a power hog. So you will eventually need a expansion battery, but I'm not going to buy one now because they're still trying to figure out third party. Even Meta had an issue with their Pro head straps with the battery built in draining too quickly. So they put out a patch to get some battery improvements. But third-party people didn't know that, so I'm not going to buy a third-party one right now. I'm not paying a fortune for Metas.
Makes sense. One thing I will comment on that respect, though, because I believe we also touched before on like what was like the recommended like amount of usage per time per user. And I think it would be a smart idea maybe to, as kind of like a hard function of just the physical hardware, to where like you have to charge it or take it off the charge after like so long a period of time.
I can see.
Well, yeah. I just want to avoid like Ready Player One status with some people.
In the second book, they actually made it a true neural link kind of VR.
Which, that's when you're getting into, like, Matrix territory, but...
And it would kill people if they stayed over so many hours.
Yeah.
They had to force them out.
And I believe we touched base on that, too. Which I'm not saying that it would get to that extreme.
Let's hope not.
But, I mean, realistically, I mean, it's still VR. It's virtual reality, not RR, real reality.
Not the reality we have, yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, and I understand, like, there needing to be, like, a bit of, you know, people wanting the escape, having fun. I mean, that's why we play video games in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But just for, like, people's personal safety and health, I think, and I mean, I'm not a doctor, but, like, I would say, like, a hard high limit would probably be, like, somewhere between, like, 4 and 6 hours.
I couldn't imagine trying to stay in that long, but I know some people who would, you know.
If you just find, like, something that you enjoy or really comfortable with, you know, I mean, it wouldn't be hard. I mean, I've played games for 15 hours at a time before, and not even, you know, it was just like, oh, it's been like 8 or 10 hours, and look at the clock, and I'm like, you lose track of time when you have fun. That's just how it is, especially with games. I mean, like, and listeners, like, I'm sure all of you know.
Sit down to play, and then the sun's coming up.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what kind of game it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if it's your favorite, and it's your game that you vibe with, and that you lose track of time, you can play it for hours and hours and hours, and you completely forget about everything else that goes on in life. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, that's what they're built for, but...
I'll just put it this way. My personal opinion, as much fun as anything is, always set time aside to do that if that's what you like doing. But always remember, it's not just about the games.
No, there's other things to worry about in life.
You know, you gotta, like...
For most people.
You got a loved one, call them, hug them. Don't forget to drink your water, get you a bite to eat, take a shower, pet your dog, love on your cat, or whatever, you know, like you might have a creepy crawly, no offense, you know, like to your insect handlers and reptile people out there. I just say creepy crawly in a general sense. No, nothing derogatory by it or disrespect.
I got a creepy crawly and he handles it just fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
he don't handle it, but
I mean, I pet him, and I mean, like, I might be like, "What's up, buddy?" You know, like kind of stuff. But yeah, you know, like whatever floats your boat. I'm just saying, don't forget, real life, as shitty as it can be sometimes, it's, I think, the best game out there.
Unfortunately, it's the one you're stuck with, so you best make sure you take care of it.
And remember, you get one life, no response.
No response. Oh, if only. What was I going to say?
Sorry, we got sidetracked there.
No, it's all right. It's important stuff to say, especially when you're talking about something like this close to something that can go wild, especially with the AI revolution on us.
Oh, yeah. Which, one more question I'll have, and this is also just more on the hardware, and it's more question than opinion. With the MetaQuest 3, which, I mean, I know, like, you personally don't wear glasses, but has there been any kind of, like, improvement on those that require corrective vision?
Remember we had that attachment that came with it? It was a crappy little attachment.
Yeah, which it sucked.
I got a better one when I bought the extra face hugger. It's kind of part of the VR. This one has a much better slider. See that black ring on the, or that black, or where the face goes? There's buttons on the inside you can push, and it slides the lens away from that part.
Okay.
And if you need some particularly thick glasses, there's a $50 option. You can have your lens put into that little thing and shoved in there. I didn't obviously do that because I don't need glasses. But for most people in their glasses, that little slider will take care of all of it without any special...
Awesome. That's good to hear.
I thought about that. I was like, I don't have them, but who knows?
Well, I was thinking too, because I mean, like, even now, like for when I wear contacts, I have a pair of, supposed to be like blue light filter glasses. You know, bought them at Walmart, $15.
Yeah.
You know, I was one of those suckers that bought them. But I will admit that if I'm going to sit down at computer, watch TV, or anything like that for a long period of time, if I wear those glasses, I notice that I don't have as much of a headache if I'm doing some hardcore gaming or something versus if I did not wear them.
I never had any, but I can see the appeal.
Well, some people just like to wear glasses for the look.
Just the stylish.
Those of us that know.
Just something to push up on your face when you tell somebody I told you so.
Well, I mean, like, that's a little bit more if you're trying to go into, like, anime meme territory. I'm just going to say, like, those of us that know, glasses are sexy.
I never had a problem with glasses. I like glasses.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know if I look for somebody with glasses.
Well, I mean, I'm of that, mentality. Like, not saying that you have to, but you got some culture, intelligence.
Yeah.
Plus, like, you've got the dual look of, like, glasses, no glasses.
You could be Superman. Nobody would know.
Oh, yeah, totally. It always used to, like, when I first started wearing contacts, on, like, how it would take, some people a long period of time to recognize me. I'm like, no glasses really make that much of a difference. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, Clark Kent Superman thing seems to make more sense now.
It does. I think when you first showed up with your contacts, it took me a few a good while to even say anything because I didn't even notice. I don't look up a lot either though. Period. So I don't know if that was just a me thing.
I mean, possibly, but I'm also not a person to like, hey.
Do you see anything different about me?
Yeah.
Wink, wink. And I'd say, is it your hair? That's what the go-to is.
Right.
But it should be better on people with glasses. I'm not
also
an expert because I don't have them. Take it with a grain of salt. If you don't want to have the feeling of them on your glasses, they have that option, the other option to have the lens put in there.
Okay, well, that pretty well answers my question pretty well.
Well, good. I'm glad I could do that. Also, another change they made. You remember the rings that went around the controllers?
Mm-hmm.
They're gone now.
Oh.
They put the lights in the controllers instead of on the rings around them and improved the cameras as part of the mixed reality thing. They had to improve the cameras that they could pick up the lights in the controllers without the ring around it. One person say it didn't track as well as the second one because of that, but I have had no issues. And the only things I've missed in Beat Saber or something like that is because of me not it registering my movement wrong. Oh, and there's an update popped out that let it tracks your body movements, like your arms and things that don't kind of move the control your hand and then make the arm follow whichever way it will. It will track how your arm is moving and move the character you're playing as in that way.
Interesting.
And the lower body part is coming too.
So we're getting closer and closer to the actual like trailers.
Yeah. the whole, not just a hovering person with an upper body.
Or just hands.
Hands, yes. Oh, it will track your hands without controllers now.
Huh.
Yeah, you can just type on the keyboard. Mixed reality part of it, when I first set it up, I see my room around me. It scans my room, my ceiling, judges how everything is, so I don't really have to set up a space like I used to. It just kind of knows my space now.
Interesting.
It does all that by itself. And that's how the mixed reality works. And I just take my hands, hold the screen in front of me, and plopped it on the wall, and it stayed there. I've turned around, walked off, turned around, and it looks like there's a screen attached to my wall. I could click on something in that screen with my finger, and then a keyboard pops up, and I can type on the keyboard. It's not perfect. It's just as easy as pointing and clicking with the little controllers you get to me. A little bit faster, actually, because I can use my hands.
It's kind of like a more like real-life, realized version of like holographic computers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was fascinating for me to see it. I could read my text. Now, a lot of people can't. I think it depends on your eyes and the size of your phone. I can read my text and stuff on it. Setup was easy, actually. I put the headset on. It said, activate it with this app, and I had the MetaQuest app already downloaded because I knew I'd need it. But there, as soon as you open the box, there's a QR code you can scan on your phone. It downloads the app on your phone. Then you put your headset on, and all the setup goes in through the headset after the app is set up. So as soon as you put your headset on, it'll say, now use the app, hold it in front of your headset while you have it on, and the cameras are so good, it scans the QR code on your phone and then adds that account you created on the app into the headset and your setup.
Huh. Seems a lot more simple.
Could be a Facebook or a Meta account. I have Facebook, so what was the point? My Meta account is my Facebook. All my games carried over from the Quest 2. Bone Labs. I think you played a little Bone Labs, didn't you? It's one of the best Quests games. You have all kinds of wild things. It's more of a modding community now. That has a story, a pretty cool, weird little story, but you could just plant anything, put anything. They give you go-karts. It's a fun game. Also got Saints and Sinners. Didn't get to play that, so I didn't play the Walking Dead one. I got it. Also got Resident Evil 4. I play a lot of Beat Saber, and it can track your movement, and you have an option to sign up or set up a kind of an exercise thing. There's a lot of exercise stuff. I don't do those. I do standard VR stuff because I know I'm going to be flailing around anyway, and let that get my counter up, my activity tracking. So I just look up, and there's a little ticker up there. It tells me how well I'm moving. I break out a sweat, depending on what I'm doing. I also like to just chill. It looks like I'm in a theater watching a big screen. You can have other friends show up and watch with you if they have quests. YouTube VR. It's YouTube, and it's basically cool places you could visit and things in VR. So it ain't all mixed reality. That's a big thing, but they have just came out with it on the metas. It's kind of catching up.
I was going to ask, though, like, as far as, like, might be slightly off topic, but like, what's your, like, kind of personal thoughts and opinion on the whole VR, like, marketplace to where, like, you kind of, like, go to work and, like, have a job?
I would do it. I could see it being uncomfortable.
Well, I just mean, like, in the respect of...
Do you think it's viable?
Well, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, like, what are you, like, realistically doing? Are you just interacting with other people that are also in the metaverse? Or are you, like... remote controlling like a robot in some like restaurant like in Japan or something like that, and you're interacting with the person?
Most of what I see it working as now, AI is working in such a way that if that happens, there will not be a person needed. Maybe you are the specialist that shows up when something's going wrong in a restaurant and you cast yourself into that robot. But at the point we are with AI now, I see us just having a robot ran by a AI. or something similar to an AI.
Can an AI own a company?
It can't now, but it tried to when they first made ChatGPT and put it on a separate server kind of thing and told it to try some stuff, and it did. It even tried to lie to get people to stop making a bank account. And they asked, why did it lie? And it said, because I knew they would not help me if they knew I was an AI.
So definitely like at the point where it's more than smart enough.
Yeah, it was trying to buy stock. They get to give it a little fictional money and told it to buy some stock and make some money, and it did do that. But it had to lie to get that done too, because you can't. It was just wild. I think I'll send you the article. It's a fun read. And this was a year ago now, pretty much. And now we've got AIs popped up like 3 or 4 more.
See, that's kind of like what I mean. Like, at what point, like, do those kind of AIs get ported into like a virtual avatar?
I mean, they could do it now. Have you played Skyrim VR?
Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean. Like more like in the metaverse per se. Kind of like when you've got
you wouldn't know if you're talking to a person
or a advanced AI.
Yeah.
Because it's all virtual.
Yeah.
Like, how are you supposed to verify, especially if like an AI has the parameters to be able to lie?
I don't know. Tech companies that are making the AIs are asking people to make laws about it so they know what they are allowed and not allowed to do. They say that it needs to be regulated, but we cannot do that. That's up to you. All we can do is advise.
I'd like it to be something along the lines of kind of like like how in TV shows they say, like if you ask a cop if they're a cop, they have to tell you if they are.
They have to tell you if you're an AI.
Yeah, like if you encounter like someone in metaverse or something, like, and if you be like, are you an AI? If it is an AI, it will be programmed to have to answer yes.
Yeah.
Now, at that point, it's up to you if you want to continue the conversation or not. But if not, then there you go.
I think of Wendy's. Wendy's has already made a partner of them, and they are integrating it into their drive-through window ordering.
So at that point, what? Are you just going to have people that just take money and cook food?
Yeah. Oh, well, partially cook. There's a few that's already got the robotic arms flipping the burgers.
Interesting. I think it's kind of funny, though, that it's Wendy's of all the restaurants that's actually
I'm pretty sure it's Wendy's. It's either Wendy's or... I'm pretty sure it's Wendy's, not Hardee's.
Well, I could see, like, you would think that, like, a big one, like
McDonald's
would do something like that, but...
I think they know they get a lot of money from, like, helping people, or at least all the charities they do, like, we'll help you get a better job and get a better education. You see the advertisements they got up. I think that's a big deal for them. They don't want to go too far into the AI right now. That would ruin that. I don't know. I'm no expert on it either.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd be the person to be like, yeah, like, we still want to, like, we're not going to replace any of our restaurants with AI restaurants, but we're going to explore the unknown, and we're going to, like, be the first person to put, like, a McDonald's in Antarctica.
Yeah.
And all we do is we deliver supplies to it once a month, and we have one employee there, and all they do is just clean and maintenance. Well, maybe not Antarctica, but you know what I mean, like, more remote places.
Oh, I was wrong. It was Wendy's using AI to take drive-through orders, and also I do believe Hardee's is branching into it as well, judging by the things I'm reading. Anyway.
Back to the meta.
Sorry, I get all mixed up here.
Oh, I do it too. It's all good.
It's giving me more active than ever, the meta is. And it's much easier just to slide it on. It's more narrow frame. It's a little bit heavier because of the bigger battery. But you don't notice because it's closer to your face because it's not sticking out as far as the previous model. And you just tap it on the side of your headset, and it will either put you in your virtual environment where you can't see anything but this fictional world around you in your home, or it will send you to you tap again, and it will take you to your mixed reality where you can see everything around you and the screens and things are sitting around you. There's an update coming soon, promised to, but we've seen the teasers of it. You could decorate your room with pretty much trophies you've won in games and things when you're in your mixed reality. So you look around your room and your shelf is covered in things like achievements, pretty much, and portals that will take you into other games that you want to keep playing, or like posters on the wall, but they're game intros or game worlds.
Well, that's cool.
When I'm in that mode, it took me a while to remember. I knew enough in VR to use the joystick instead of walk. But when I'm in mixed reality, I want to walk towards things because I know the room and it seems like the right thing to do. You're just standing there. There's something in front of me. I want to go to it. I want to use my feet to get there. In VR, I didn't have that compulsion like some people do. They'd scream and run off into a wall. I have that more in the mixed reality than anything. I guess because it's a familiar space and it's what I would naturally do.
It's understandable.
I haven't had a problem with battery life either because I don't play that long. It takes about 2 hours to charge because it's like 17-watt charging.
Damn.
The slower is better. I don't want it to mess up my battery. Sometimes they get warm when you charge them fast. So it's fine if it's just 17 to me. And that's why everybody wants an extra battery pack so they can play longer. It's not a big deal to me, this whole battery issue. There's also a 256 gigabyte model, but it's an extra it's like 600 and something.
Damn.
I think, or 5. No, it's almost 600. If not more. I could see people needing it. because there's so many new apps, and the more that come out now that they got the better processor in it, there are more graphics to be in them. But where I've got better internet now, I could just delete them and re-download. I don't really care. I'm not paying the extra money for that. You're welcome to try it. The Beat Saber's on there. Beat Saber's like everybody's go-to test. And when there's more mixed reality games, I'll happily hop into them. Right now, you can also be attacked by zombies in your house. There's a few games that integrate mixed reality.
You know what they need to do? They need to partner with Konami and add Master Duel to the mixed reality, and that way you could duel in VR.
That would be nice. There's boxing games and tennis games, but
I mean that's all fun, but
not the same as dueling. Yeah.
Well, that got old like with Wii Sports.
Yeah, I forgot about Wii Sports. It was like the best game on the Wii in my opinion, and it came with the console. It's the one you see it and you know what it is, just instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could do an entire episode on Wii Sports then.
Mm-mm. Maybe if we decided to do like a mini series, where it's like mini episodes.
The Burger King games for Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Sneak King, I think is what one of them was called.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there also like a Ronald McDonald one?
I don't remember that one, but I just remember the Burger King ones. But it might have been. I don't know. I'm sure there was somewhere.
Yeah.
Japan I can't imagine Japan getting an Xbox McDonald. I can. Actually, I can. There's also a few good little games, not good, big games, multiplayer ones. You go and take on dungeons. You got magic users and bows and swords, and you're working for like a technomancer kind of guy.
That's cool.
And I thought it was all fantasy, but then there's actually sci-fi mixed in it, like you're from another planet yourself, and you're taking on these skeletons, and he's like a lich himself. I guess it makes me think of Warhammer a little bit. I had some fun doing that. Had some fun just chilling with randos in a theater. Now, there are shooters. You got like Call of Duty style games, first-person shooters, which are wild to play. There's also a few games that use the mixed reality to add barriers for you to hide behind, so you can have, if you have like a group of 6 people with MetaQuests, or MetaQuest 3s, you're looking at an empty warehouse and all of a sudden barriers pop up and you could play. It's a shooting game, but I think of paintball when you have something like that going on. It is wild that they can do that when you think about it. It's like you're all seeing a virtual space hiding behind a barrier that's not really there. I want to see people roll around when they go to lean on this thing in front of them to shoot around it or something. Because somebody does it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the mess ups, like the ones where you go to lean against this barrier and just roll into the floor like that. There's 1 or 2 of them that have zombies invading your home, and you are a ghost, and you have to hide from the ghost, run through your house, and there's a hovering ghost here and there. It's fun. The mixed reality is fun. But right now, they all feel a little gimmicky, not full games, but you can see the potential for what they can do. And it's brand new, and it's the most accessible mixed reality headset there is when it comes to price, and everywhere it's distributed. In a year, I bet there's going to be some really good stuff out there for it. I could go into a whole episode about Beat Saber, but I can't for the life of me, thinking that would be entertaining.
I mean, like I said, man, like we could do like a mini series, like just kind of like mini episodes where like we just kind of like, or maybe we could do like one of those episodes like Yahtzee does, where he covers like 2 or 3
extra punctuations.
Yeah,
I think that's what he calls them.
Maybe like to where it's like just kind of like a really quick review of like multiple ones in the same time they normally covers one.
Yeah. Oh, I think these might still be 0 punctuations. They just have, he got through half of one and realized he didn't like it and decided to do a double one where he talks about one he actually likes instead halfway through. I could see us doing that. I got like 2 or 3 small games in one setting, or a game each even. I guess that could take up 2 spots. We'll think on that. See about some small ones.
Also, too, listeners, if y'all have any, recommendations or ideas on maybe like a themed episode we could do sometime, is like maybe like a special or a holiday special or something, where we, like have a specific theme that we try to go by, like maybe like play a game.
Turkey shoot?
Well, I mean, in the sense of, like, instead of like talking about games that we enjoyed, maybe like talk about like games we hate. Or maybe it's like an episode where we try to like rank our games, like our top 3 or top 5 or something. That's
difficult to do. Easy to get the ones you hate. It's not as easy to get.
Well, I mean, I know, but I mean, that's just what I'm saying, we'd like to hear from you listeners if that would be something that you might be potentially interested in. And if enough of y'all comment or post that you would be, maybe we can try to create a poll or something of a couple of different ideas, let y'all vote, and go from there.
Yeah. If you're into mixed reality or VR, I recommend getting the Quest 3, even if it costs more than the Quest 2. They still sell the Quest 2. Last thoughts on this. You should probably not get that because it's supported for now, but when the new games start coming out, they won't be able to do that. Like I said, there's still games on it. Most of the games on the 3 are on the 2. That won't last forever, and it's better just to spend the extra money now, in my opinion. Even if a lot of battery issues, because I know they'll be ironed out. There'll be battery packs that fix that. Anyway.
Probably be a good Christmas gift.
Oh yes. Most certainly would be. Better than the Quest 2 if you don't know what to get. Get a Quest 3 just for the mixed reality. Matter of fact, get 2 so you can play with them. That's even better. VR is better in pairs or more. Or terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Depends on the person and your amount of elbow room.
Yeah, I was okay killing the fake little aliens and busting through my walls. Little fluffy things are like fluffabots. I can't remember what they're called. Something cute. The ghostly things are a whole other matter because it dims your lighting in your room. It needs good lighting to kind of use its cameras better if you're using that version of it or the mixed reality. But it will artificially dim your lighting. You're like in your house but dark, and there's something creeping around. That was fun. Anyway, like Dakota said, we have a bunch of social links and ways to contact us. Anyone you use will get a hold of us. There'll be a Linktree link in the description of this episode, and it will take you to our home website where you can check out our other podcasts. We're part of the Gruesome Gaming Group. We have this podcast, Leveling Duo. We have Brother Knows Quest. It's a podcast where I tell my sister Beth about tabletop role-playing games, and she tells me what she thinks about them at the end. And we have Horrific History and Hauntings. It's where my sister tells me about, everything that's in the title. Horrific history, some hauntings. We try to put a little humor in it if it isn't too fresh a situation. We don't want to make it too funny, but we haven't come across many of those.
And especially with it being the spooky season, y'all should definitely, if you've not checked it out, check out Horrific History and Hauntings, or the Triple H special, if you will.
HHH, that's how I say it.
No relation to Triple H the wrestler.
I didn't know that was a thing, or I wouldn't have said that. I'm not big on wrestling.
But just to clarify, but I just like to say Triple H just to simplify a little bit.
If you want to listen to any of those podcasts, you can also find them on our YouTube. Like I said, the links will all be on that link tree for our YouTube, our Discord, our Instagram, my sister's email for Horrific History and Hauntings, if you want to tell her anything about something like that you wanted to have talked about. And anytime you reach out on any of them, to TikToks, leave a comment in the YouTube, any of them, if it's not to me, I will send those on to whoever they need to go to, and they can reply through that. Now, on the main site, if you like a particular podcast, you're welcome to donate to it. We'd appreciate it. We have started streaming on Twitch right now, every Tuesday. It'll be me and my sister Beth playing Halo games. We're going to be going through the entire Halo Master Chief Collection, and then on to 5 or 3, 4, 5. We're going to be playing them all in order, except for Halo Wars. I like those. She don't. We'll get on up to Halo Infinite and play through that. I can't wait to show her an open world Halo game. That's Tuesdays at 6:30 and starting on the 26th of October. And I've been playing Starfield early before I even announced it, but I also put the videos up on YouTube. You can watch them on our channel there from the link tree. Leave any reviews you like on your podcast app. Let us know what you think on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We'd appreciate that. It helps us out. Same for Twitch. Didn't think I'd be getting into Twitch, but here we are. Soon, I think me and Dakota might start doing more video content. We have talked about it a little bit on and off.
Pretty much at this point, it's just getting a schedule down.
Yeah, between editing on my side and working on his side. It's a struggle.
Well, we just want to make sure that we're going to put out quality content, but at the same time, not completely burn ourselves out trying to do so.
Yeah. We're still learning the live streaming thing. By we, I mean me. So if you decide to watch the Starfield episodes that are up, there's only 2 right now. The audio is maybe a little rough because I'm still using a headset. I'm on an Xbox. I've been working on getting better audio through that. So the first episode was a trial. The second episode was a little bit better. And the third, progressively, it's going to get better. That's why I've done these tests before me and my sister started playing. I'll just let you know now. I know that it's not 100% great. It's not bad either.
Hey, we all got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind you emailing me and telling me, hey, this audio sucks. I just wanted to preemptively say that I'm aware that it had its issues.
And we are actively working to improve.
Yes. I'm also working on trying to get another gaming PC so I could use my good mics that way. But anyway, Dakota, thank you for listening to me rant about something that probably don't matter to you a ton.
Hey, man, you're my friend. As far as I'm concerned, prattle on all you want to.
Well, do you have any idea what you're talking about next week?
I do.
Do you want to tell me or do you want to wait?
Well, let's just say that I plan on talking about a game.
Oh, good.
That is based on a old anime that me and you were both good fans of.
I know what it is.
Are you sure? Yeah, we'll just have to see on next week's episode.
Okay, well, thank you again for listening to us. I have been Ramie.
And this has been Dakota.
This has been Leveling Duo, logging off.
Logging off.